the meeting right now.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kiranti Ninditasari as a Master of Ceremony for this event. First of all, let's say thanks to Allah who has given us the mercy and guidance to participate in this event. I would like to welcome Ms. Pratiwi, our Vice Chancellor, and Ms. Iful Rahmawati, the Head of English Study Program, and our awesome speakers, Mr. Ahmed, and Ms. Nuha Anfarezi, and Ms. Afsal Serif Sheikh. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's begin this event by reciting Basmalah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Move on to the next agenda. Welcome speech from Ms. Pratiwi. To Ms. Pratiwi, time and place are yours. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Kinanti. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning, Indonesia. Good morning, Palestine. Good morning, India. The Honorable Head of English Department of Universitas Muhammadiyah Bangka Belitung, Ibu Iful Rahmawati Mega MPD. The distinguished guest, Ahmed Sber from Khan Yunis, Gaza, Palestine. Nuhan Paresi from Bangka Belitung, Indonesia. And Afsal Sheikh from India. Today, we are very pleased to welcome you in this webinar. It is an honor for us, particularly for our university, for having you in this occasion. The Honorable, all lecturers, and all participants. I'm very pleased to have this opportunity to say a few words in the opening of the first international webinar conducted by English Education Department of Universitas Muhammadiyah Bangka Belitung with the theme promoting intercultural understanding among students. This is indeed an important occasion for us, particularly for our students involving in intercultural issues because it allows us to draw attention more on the importance of intercultural understanding in the globalization era. We all know that intercultural understanding stimulates our students' interest in the lives of others. It cultivates values such as respect, curiosity, care, empathy, and support new and positive intercultural behaviors across country. It is also essential in today's business environment because we know that there are some strategic languages such as English, Arabic, Chinese, Japan, or German. So it is helped by sharing knowledge, art, and cultures across country. It will broaden our perspectives and encourage us, particularly for our students, to study abroad and increase their capacity and build their potential by learning from various sources. So I would like to take this opportunity to express my sincere thanks to the organizers and in particular our honorable speakers. We truly appreciate your participation and your engagement in this occasion. Finally, this is an opportunity time for me to declare the official opening of the International Park, promoting intercultural understanding among students by saying Basmalah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. And I warmly welcome you again and have a pleasant webinar. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you for Ms. Pratiwi, MPD, for the welcome speech. And now, let's move on to the main events, the presentations from our awesome presenter. For the first presenter is Mr. Ahmed of Sebar from Palestine. Before it, let me read briefly the curriculum vitae. He is graduated from Media and Communications Department of University of Palestine, and then now he is studying in Communication Studies Master Degree programs of Universities Diponegoro, Indonesia. And started for the job experience, he is a journalist at the Palestine Media Office in Gaza, Palestine, started from 2018 until 2019, and then as a photographer at the Department of Public Relations and Media of the Good Yad Development Center in Gaza, started from 2016 until 2017. And then he was a journalist of the Palestinian Media Office, Gaza, Palestine, 2017. I think that's all about the curriculum vitae from our awesome presenter, Mr. Ahmed of Sebar.
I think there are some troubles with the connection. Miss Rindu or Miss Ipo, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
And then now for our awesome presenters, Mr. Ahmed of Sebar, time and place are yours. To our awesome presenter, Mr. Ahmed of Sebar, time and place are yours to present the presentations about intercultural among students.
Okay. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And see, okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Excellency Rector Universitas Muhammadiyah Bangka Belitung, Bapak Fadilah Sabri Amdut Eng, the Honorable First Vice Rector for Academic Students and Collaboration Affairs, Ibu Pratiwi Amelia Amdut PD, the Honorable Head of English Education Department, Ibu Iful Rahmawati Mega Amdut PD, the Honorable all of the lecturers, students, and participants in this webinar. Okay, my name is Ahmed Ishbir. I am from Palestine, and today I will talk about Palestinian culture and my little experience in Indonesia, and my culture shock the first time in when I arrived to Indonesia. First, Palestine is one of country in the continent of Asia, in the south of Asia right now, and this is the map, the real map of Palestine. Was removed from Google Maps, but this is the real we talk about when we talk about Palestine. The capital city in Palestine is Jerusalem, and the official language is Arabic language. And then I will talk about little. We have a lot of cities in Palestine, but the famous cities in Palestine, the first city is Jerusalem. Jerusalem, this first city make conflict in Palestine until now. And we have many beautiful cities in Palestine, like Haifa city. Haifa is very beautiful city in Palestine, and the Yafa city, we can say Yafa city is the wife of sea, because it's very beautiful in Palestine, and they make we make it like wife sea. And Hebron city and Bethlehem city, this is a little bit, this is some cities in Palestine. And then we talk about another city, and my city is Gaza. The first city here is, this is my city. This is only one street in Gaza, and Safed city and Jericho city. Okay, for the old heritage in Palestine, this is the, we can say this is the old heritage in Palestine. It's the old people was using when they are meeting, when they are making events like engagement or wedding. The old man's before they was used like this, but there is some people still using it. But for me, when I want to go there, because I like the cafe and food, what they bring there. And next, for the Palestinian traditional customs, this is we can talk about the Palestinian customs, our Palestinian traditional cloth in Palestine. Okay, this is we can talk the first traditional customs, or the first traditional cloth in Palestine. We talk about al-kufiya, like all the Roman here using it, or I use it now. Al-kufiya, we use it for many events in Palestine, many traditional events we use it. And the men's and women's have a traditional customs too, like in this picture. The older woman have different with the younger woman too, or the children woman. Like this, we talk about this is a traditional clothes. Not if we talk about Indonesia, the traditional customs here like batik, but in Palestine, like this is, it's a little bit different. And when the people using traditional customs in Palestine, like in many events, but not all of the people, some people like to keep it until now. In these pictures from the wedding, traditional wedding in Palestine, the man's doing a dabka here. We can talk about this picture, because a dabka, and the woman using like this for by traditional customs, or traditional, we can say adat if we use Indonesian language. And than the Palestinian food. It is very different with Indonesian food when we use Palestinian food. I talk about the first picture here. This is the old woman. It was make the bread by this place, or they was cook here too. But now there is many different. The technology make more easy for cook or make a bread or anything more, because we have gas or we have everything is different now. And we took the special food or special traditional food in Palestine, makluba. This is makluba, is the first traditional food in Palestine. And we talk about mujaddara and maftul, all of this traditional food, but the first traditional food and special in Palestine, makluba. And these pictures, I choose it too because this also traditional food in Palestine. We used here, actually in Palestine, usually we don't eat rice every days like in Indonesia. No, we usually we eat bread. Like in the breakfast, we can eat like a full and hummus, falafel with the bread and something, and this is the olives and oil. So this is good for the breakfast or dinner maybe. And usually in the lunch, the Palestinian like to eat different food like shawarma or the other food like makluba and maftul I show you in the last slide. And how about the sweet food? This is al kunafa, we can say. This is a sweet food and very delicious food, and awama, and we can see Palestinian tea here. Okay. Okay. Now want to talk about the religions place in Palestine, because usually what I heard in the world or in Indonesia especially, the people think in Palestine only Islamic people, but the real no. We have three religions. The first religion is Islam, the second religion is Christian, and the third is Jewish. Okay, and I just choose for a place from two religion because this place is very famous in Palestine. The first place we all know Al Masjid Al Aqsa because all of the conflict now in Al Masjid Al Aqsa, because the history, they want to steal the history, and the conflict start from Al Masjid Al Aqsa right now. So this is the first place for Islamic people in Palestine, in Jerusalem, Al Masjid Al Aqsa, and the second place for the Islamic people in Hebron, Al Masjid. That name is Al Masjid Al Ibrahimi Mosque. This is in Hebron city. Okay, for the Christian people, they use Church of Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem. This is church for the Christian people, and the other church in Bethlehem. Bethlehem, Isa alayhi salam was born in Bethlehem too. That name is Church of Nativity. Okay, this is I just talk about a little background religion here because I want to make sure Palestine can respect all of the religion, not only Islam. The first religion is Islam because most of people Islam I know, but we respect all of the religion there. Okay, and right now I want to talk about the culture can do everything every times or every day. So this what I said here, this culture should do in Palestine. This is it's already make every days. The first, the Palestinian people like to give salam or greeting salam when they meet someone in the street. Also, I know them or I don't know them in the. I am walking in the street and I meet some people, but I don't know them. I just can say Assalamu alaikum. All of the people doing that because this is culture in Palestine, and they only will answer wa alaikum assalam, but we will not talk. This is a very important culture in Palestine. because if someone can pass in front of me and will not say Salaam alaikum, maybe like in Indonesia, what we can say aneh. But in Indonesia, it's normal, I know, but in Palestine, because this is culture now, so all of the people can say Assalamu alaikum, and we learn it from from our religion, Islamic religion. And the next, we should respect the older people, our parents, our grandmother or grandfather, or another old people. We respect them, and every days should meet them, ask them about the new news, or if they need help, because this culture is very important in Palestine now, to help the older people in Palestine. And for me, or for the Palestinian culture, if we meet some older woman or grandfather like this, we can kiss her hand like this. It make polite, or just polite to them, or respect them, to make them feel we are respect them. Sorry, I wait myself. Okay, I'm sorry. And then in Palestine, the polite show our name, family, or our family background. For example, my name is Ahmad Ishper. If I talk to someone, formal or informal, I just said, what is my name? My name is Ahmad. He will not know me. Maybe he will not respect me. He will ask me again, who's Ahmad? What is your family name? Like this, or what is your father name too? Not only family. Sometimes ask your father, because in Palestine we use family name. My name is Ahmad Ishber. All of the people from Ishber family should use Ishber name first, the real name, and the second family name. Like this. This is Palestinian culture, because if we don't use our family name, so the people will not know us. And now I want to talk about the woman culture in Palestine. Usually we respect the woman, and we give the woman all of her rights, so we don't have any problem with the woman. But the Palestine still have a special culture in Palestine, because maybe the effects by the religion and the old culture too, until now we still have a culture. So usually when the woman want to go outside at night, for example, she should go by her husband, not by her husband if she marries, or by her brother, or by her father, or with her mother. So it's any mahram can, or any man can go with her, because she can feel very good, or more safe in the street. So this is culture in Palestine. Usually the woman by herself, when she want to go at night, she asks someone to go with her, because she feels safe. If she with someone, is better for her. And usually the man's can be back late. It's okay for the Palestinian culture, but not all of Palestinian families. But the woman usually, if she going out, she should back at 9 or 10, but not alone. She should ask someone to accompany her there, or go with her to back home. For example, from her, if she visit to her friends, so someone can go with her, or she can ask someone from her family to come there and bring her to his house. But usually we use they back at 9 or 10 maximal. But if they want to back late too, they should tell her parents where they are and what's the time they should back, because her parents cannot sleep if the woman didn't back yet, because they will feel afraid. They will feel maybe some problem in the street or with her now. So because of that, they ask the woman back more early, not because they don't believe the woman. No, the Palestinians believe the woman, but they only care about the woman. Okay, and the new culture in Palestine, or the special culture in Palestine too. When someone graduates from the high school, usually the other friend or the other neighbors or anyone near with him or with her should go to from after he graduate or she graduated from the high school. We should go to his family and tell her our greetings, or and then the important, we should give them a gift. Not it's not should be expensive gift, no, just only gift, so we just can make them or be near with him or make them happy by this gift. Is if what we cheaper gift, it's a cheap gift, it's okay. If it's up to them, it's expensive, it's okay too. The important, we should give them gift for make happy and respect them. And the important culture there, when I want to visit someone to, and before for example, my close friend or my cousin or anyone from my family or not my family, not if I said my family, not like from my brothers or sisters, or no, I mean my family, like my cousins, my aunt, my uncle, anyone else. So before I pass or to my friend, I should wait, I must wait first, because the person live in that house should ask me first to pass, because we have special living room, or in Indonesia we can say ruang tamu. So all of the Palestinian house should have this rooms, because for special for this people or the friends or the other people. And the other culture in Palestine, this is a special culture in Palestine and a little bit other Arabic countries. But in Palestine, it's very special culture. We are preparing cake. My mother every years, or every last week in Ramadan, she make cake like the right picture and ma'mul in the left picture, this one. And so this is sweet food. By inside this, we can say in Indonesia korma, this one, and in here the same. But this is special food in Palestine for in Eid al-Fitr, and they make a lot of cake and ma'mul. For I still remember, because 2 years ago I didn't back to Palestine, but I still remember when my mother prepare this cake. She can make a lot of, and it will finish maybe after 6 months. So because it's not a little bit, a lot of, and we still eat until finish. And other culture in Palestine, usually there is what we can say about the girlfriend or boyfriend we have in Palestine. There is some people like to marry after they love each other and take time together. It's okay, it's no problem, but not all of the people like it. Usually the Palestinian culture, when someone man loves some woman, directly he should ask her parents for engagement, because her parents will be happy and will believe him, or will respect him like this, and they will ask about him first. They will make sure he is good for their daughter or not. So this is Palestinian culture. The important, her parents, maybe her mother, it's enough to know, or her mother and her father, is very important to know first. They want to engagement for make sure and believe them, because usually when the parents know about their daughter, she loves someone and she didn't tell them before, they will be angry from her, and maybe sometime they will not believe her again. So the important she should tell them about everything. In the other culture, I am sorry. So we still talk about the woman and but here the woman and man. Usually in Palestine, if the people, if we are, I mean the mans with women's meet in the public, like in the cars, because usually in Palestine we don't use like a Grab or Gojek in Indonesia. Usually we use from the street we can ask the taxi or any car stop and ask them where we want to go, and the taxi can accept 4 people. It's okay. So usually the man and woman should make space bit together, not be very clear, very close. Because this is, I think, like here, for example, the friendly class, for example, should make a space to in anywhere. This is Palestinian culture because they should make a space, and the people like to do like this in Palestine, and the responsibility in Palestine by the husband. Who should work? The husband. Who should buy the food? The husband. Who should buy the medicine for the wife and the sons and daughters is husband. Everything by the husband. If the woman work, she can keep her money, no problem. She doesn't have responsible to do anything in the house, or usually the husband should do all of them, but if they want to share together, it's okay. A lot of people now or a lot of families like to share together, but usually the first one should do it, the husband. So when someone want to engagement in Palestine, for example me, her parents, I love some woman and I want to marry, I want to engagement her. So her parents will ask me, do you have house first? Do you have work? How much you get every month or something? They want to make sure I can open the house or not. This is Palestinian culture until now. So if I cannot responsible in the house, and they will feel the woman will not be happy in my house, or the woman will not be like in them house. Like for example, if she in her family house, she can get everything, food she can find from her parents, money she can find to, she can study in the university, she can do everything. So if her parents feel she can get everything in her husband too, so they will accept. If she cannot, they will not accept, because they don't want to their daughter move to another house and don't feel the same with her family house. Then now I want to talk about maybe it's bad culture, or because the Palestinians don't like this culture in Palestine. Usually what something we should not do in Palestine, because the Palestinian will not like it. First, if the woman, and I am sorry because I still talk about the woman, but it not means we don't give the woman a right. No, we give the woman all of the right, but this is only culture. When the woman in the street, it's not good to call her by high voice. I mean, for example, her name is Dina. For example, I said, "Oh, Dina." No, she will not like it, because this is not good culture in Palestine. So I just can call her. I know, for example, her father name Ahmad. I can say Ahmad. She will understand directly like this. Or if I talk, I will not use high voice. I need to use a little bit Dina like this, so the other people will not hear me. And the second, there is many personal questions should not ask, like for example, salary, how much your salary. This is the Palestinian will not answer. If someone if I ask my friend how much your salary, he will not answer. My father, when I ask my father how much your salary, he doesn't answer me, because they don't like. And the special, Sudah Mandi, did you take shower? Directly the Palestinian will think, what's happened? Why? Because they don't understand. They will think there is something wrong here, or the smell is not good. this is the Palestinian culture. So we don't ask about the salary, take shower or another thing. And next, for the woman too, when the woman want to enter or pass to masjid, she should wear hijab and gamis or tall cloth before she pass to masjid. So she cannot wear hijab inside of the mosque. No, before she pass or before she enter to mosque, she should wear hijab like this or like this, and this is like kameez she should wear, because the Palestinian, all of the Palestinian will look here if she enter to masjid and she doesn't wear this Islamic clothes, and maybe some people will ask her to go out to if she doesn't wear like this, because they will see her and they don't agree with her. And the next, when the woman wear hijab in Palestine, the meaning of hijab that in front all of the mans, not mahram, all of the mans, not your mahram. So if the woman want to wear hijab, so that means if she meet her friends, mans, she should wear hijab again. If she go outside, she should wear hijab. If she share her picture in the social media, she should wear hijab too. So we cannot see her again if she wear hijab, because this is very important culture in Palestine and Islamic culture too. And the fourth we should not do in Palestine is the alcohol. The government don't agree to drink or sell alcohol in Palestine. The alcohol is alcohol, no. In Palestine, so the Palestinians should not drink alcohol in Palestine. And next, what we should not do in Palestine too.
I'm sorry, Mr.
Hello?
I'm sorry to interrupt you. We still have 2 minutes left to the presentation.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. And next for the say salam by the hand in Palestine. So it's better to do like this, or if the woman want to give salam by the hand, so she should start first. And the important, we should not look the man should not look so much to girl in the public place, because the woman will feel annoying. And the woman should not talk by high voice in the public place. And so I want to talk fast about the culture shock. The first time when I arrived to Indonesia, culture shock was make me complicated here. Only the first week maybe, because I don't understand anything before in Indonesia in the beginning time when I arrived to Indonesia, because first the time is very different. So I want to talk with my family, so I cannot, because like right now the time is 9. There is still 4 hours behind. So if I want to call them, my family, for example, they still sleep, and I don't know how I can communicate with them, because the time is very different and what we do is very different in this time. Yeah. And next, I feel the food is very different, because usually we like bread, not the rice. We eat rice, but the culture food in Palestine bread, not rice every day or every food. Next, what I see the similar between Palestine and Indonesia. We have the religion first, because the most of people in Indonesia is Islam, and Palestine the same. And the important in the history, I know Indonesia have big history about the occupation, and Palestine still have big history about the occupation, and until now we still have this history about the occupation. So this thing make me like Indonesia actually. And now this my advice, and from my experience, how I can be normal, or I can manage the culture shock in Indonesia. First, I should know my goal. The second, I should learn about the country I want to visit or I want to live. The second, I I should be normal here. I should feel it's like the same with my country. And the last I should make money friend. And now I just want to read this poet from writing by Abdul Rahim Mahmoud. He about Ash-Shahid, meritor Shahid. He said, "I will carry my soul in my hand and throw it in the valleys of death. It is either a life that makes a friend happy, or a death that makes the enemy angry." And the last one is Mahmoud Darwish. He's very famous in Palestine and all of the world, and his books already translated by many languages in Palestine. So I like this book from him. He said, "We have on this earth what makes life worth living." Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you so much to Mr. Ahmed for the great presentations. And now we will move on to the next presenter, Ms. Nuha Anfarezi. Before it, let me read the curriculum vitae briefly. For the work experience, she is the founder of Aikite, Porsche startup, started from November 2018 up until now, and then he is an intern at PT Holland for Water, started from January 2020 up until February 2020. And then for the education history, he is in Islamic University of Indonesia in environmental engineering, started from August 2017 up until May 2021. And then in Islamic boarding school, outstanding student scholarship, Islamic education, started from August 2017 up until now. And actually, she is the daughter of our rector of University Muhammadiyah Bangka Belitung, Mr. Fadila Sobri. To Ms. Nuha Anfarezi, the screen is yours.
Thank you so much. Okay, right. So I would like to ask whether I can be assigned as a co-host, because I move my device actually. Okay. Okay, thank you so much. Right. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Can you guys hear me? Thank you so much. So yeah, it's really an honor to be here to have an opportunity to share with you guys. Thank you so much, Mrs. Iful, for inviting me to share stories here to the students of English education in University Universitas Muhammadiyah in Bangka Belitung. Thank you so much for an amazing stories from Ahmed Shubair from Palestine, and also the second one will be from India, right? So I would like to share more about my experience on traveling in several countries. I know you guys, you're Indonesians and you know most of Indonesian cultures, but I will share your perspective as a student and also a traveler and also entrepreneur from Indonesia who visit some countries in the world. So, right, from what the master attorney said, that I was a student of environmental engineering, but I just graduated this April. And I also studied Islamic education and Islamic University of Indonesia boarding school. I was a movie character also in Inventing Tomorrow documentary movie in the US in 2017 and 2018, and was selected as a scholars for Swiss government in the Europe, and traveled to 15 countries with grants. which is free, alhamdulillah, and also was an international speaker in absolutely Indonesia, the United States, and the European countries. And some of them are, competitions, international competitions, Student of the Year in 2018, 2019, and 2020. And also, if you want to know more about my book, you can actually engage in social media with me. Just open an Instagram and find @Nuhan_Fares. So I'm the CEO of IKT. I actually have a startup that work in social engineering. We produce a water filter to give to people in Indonesia, and it's also international. So most of our customers were from international, and we produced the filters locally. And yeah, so this is how the background was. So I was traveling in several countries in the world, in the US, in the Europe, in Asia, some Asia. And I will talk about more about this because I want to share the stories to you guys for any Indonesian youth, Indonesian from Bangka. I'm from Bangka too. And I want you to be one of the young generations who will also go to several countries and find a lot of insights from other developed countries. So this is my background. Actually, I am a junior environmental engineer when I was in high school. So I actually wanted to go abroad, but my parents said, if you want to go abroad, you have to pay yourself for the money and also the accommodation and everything. Because my parents actually went to the UK and Australia, and I said to myself, I want to follow my parents' path. And then I tried several competitions. This is a national competitions that is held by Indonesian Institute of Sciences. So I started a work with research. Actually, this is in Bangka. And this is me and my friends. We went to dredge. If you guys know, you already know about tin mining industries. And we went there for research. And alhamdulillah, we won nationally for the competitions. And we actually had a selection process, another selection process to go to the US. And after the selection process, the really hard selection process, we eventually got a chance to visit LA, Los Angeles in the US. So it's actually the same competitions, but it's more international and it's more advanced. A lot of young scientists there around the world in the US. And we didn't also see Indonesian students, right? But we also saw a lot of students in different countries. As you can see here, we took a photo with Japanese students, and also we found Palestinian students who work with science too. It was so amazing. And most of them was from American. And one of the very unique things when I went to the US is because it's the temperature. In the US, we went there in summer actually, and it was 17 degrees Celsius, 16 or 17 degrees Celsius. So it was really cold. In Indonesia, it will be as if we lived in a mountain areas. So I actually had sick at the first time when I went to the US in LA. So it wasn't very good for me, but I had to adapt with everything, specifically because I had to finish my competitions. And then we learned a lot from other countries too. And this is also some of the stories behind the scene of the research. actually, I went to the US for the second time. It was in 2018. First was in 2017. So when I did my research, actually one of the director from LA contacted us and invited us if we wanted to become her movie character in her movie, which called Inventing Tomorrow documentary movie. And we actually chosen from hundreds of students who applied for the International Science and Engineering Fair in LA. And in 2018, I had a storytelling seminar in Sundance Film Festival in 2018. So it was really amazing to, to share with American students, American teachers there, and also become one of the representative from Indonesia to show the science project, and also what is the background of our science project and why we wanted to help societies to tackle the environmental issues. So I'm not alone. So here are my friends from Mexico. He's Jose and Jesus. And then 1 second. Okay. And I had a friend from India too. Her name is Sahithi, and he's Jared from Hawaii, United States. And all right, so we'll move to my stories in the Europe. It was in the US for the second time, but I will have another story in the US because I was only a Muslim there, right? So it was challenging to be a Muslim if you are alone, right? So most of the events that I joined is Muslim minority, and you have the obligation to have a five time daily prayers, and if you just follow and join the event without knowing that you had an obligations of prayer, then you will miss the 5 time daily prayer. And actually, I went to the mosque in the US, in Hadijah Mosque, and I think in the US I didn't see any Muslim discriminations. I don't know in other places, but I visited LA. They're so friendly with Muslims, and Utah, they're also too. But there's no mosque there, so I had to travel. No, I had to drove to the city, which is Salt Lake City, to find a mosque, and it's only one mosque. Which is called Khadijah Mosque, and the Muslim there was so friendly, and they welcoming us, and then it was really amazing to share the Indonesian cultures to the US societies too. And this is me in Switzerland. Actually, when I went outside Indonesia, I will become automatically vegetarian because I was quite afraid of the meat that been slaughtered by the name of God. So I will eat only vegetables. I joined my friends to eat from India. So Indians tend to eat vegetables and all vegetarian food. And I like how they cook it, and I actually eat with them. And then actually I went to the Europe for about 35 days, 2 weeks in Switzerland and Italy, and then I didn't eat meat for 2 weeks, and it was so I was so hungry actually because I need meat. And then when I came to Sweden, I directly, wanted to find any halal restaurant, and I found it. And they actually have like shawarma and meats and a lot of things to eat which is actually halal. And after that, I went to Belgium too. It was amazing country, but it was also an expensive country too. Like if you wanted to buy souvenirs, it cost $3 to $4. Yeah, $3 to $4, or probably, if it makes sense, 200.000 ya, 200.000 rupiah. And then I went to Germany too. So in Germany, be careful. If you went to the toilet, you have to pay two euros. 2 euros in Indonesia, it will be 32,000 rupiah. So actually, it was quite expensive for Indonesians like me. And if I pay it, I feel like, oh my God, I paid 2 euros for only go to the toilet. And actually in Indonesia, you could, eat the food twice for that too. So it was amazing. And in Switzerland, in Germany, most of them are direct people. Like if you're wrong, then they will directly say to you, you're wrong, you have to do this, this, this. And it's different from Indonesia, right? I think Indonesia is more friendly, and we're quite afraid of saying people, it's not, we think that it's not appropriate, but for most of Switzerland and Germans, they they say it directly. And if you do good, then they will say you're successfully better, or you're so awesome. So it's amazing how Indonesians learn from other countries. And actually only me too. So in the Europe, one of the unique things I found, actually we really wake up early because we have a subuh prayer, right? It was at 4 a.m. and I had to wake up at 4 a.m. Unfortunately, my friends, she couldn't sleep after she has been woken up. So if she heard me woke up and opened the door, she couldn't sleep again, and it would make her cannot sleep again, and she had to actually struggle with her sleep. And there is the challenge also. If you live in an international environment, you have to become aware with other people, and you have to become empathy with other people too. And at the end, I have to say that she has to go out from other room, because I couldn't woke up at around 7, because it will pass the subuh prayer. So yeah, it was really amazing to also learn from other people too, with their cultures. And yeah, so this is also an accidentally traveling or journey to Paris. We have 2 days weekend, right? And Saturday and Sunday after our class. And we didn't know that we could actually go to Paris. So it wasn't planned before, but me and my friend from Africa, she is Sarah, we actually had a courage or a breath to visit Paris with bus, right? We are only 2, and it was amazing to see Paris and its Eiffel. This is actually the ticket that we got. We had food here too. I always look for halal food or halal restaurant in Muslim minority countries. And yeah, and this is also in Belgium, in the event of Young World Solutions. As you can see, we have a lot of cultures here. We use our own traditional clothes. I used from Bangka. It's like a kebaya, but it's not a kebaya, I think. Songket and other things. My friends from India and my friends from Africa and Latin America. So it is amazing. And this is my friend from Africa. She used a clothes, traditional clothes from Africa, and she actually sold some of her necklaces and bracelets from Africa, and it was amazing. So, right, and this is me also when I visited India in 2019. It was really amazing to saw India. Most of them, use sari. I don't think I said correctly. So, and also for the food, I love Indian food. They're so amazing, and if you visit India too, you will find cows in every place you see. So it was an awesome country. I like India. And then, yeah, I met other Indians too, and other countries that close to India, which is Bangladesh. What else? I forgot. Bangladesh and, yeah, Bangladesh, Malaysia, all of Southeast Asian countries, and Nepal and other countries as well. And yeah, so this is actually Norway. So I went to every different countries every year, like 5 to 6 countries when I was in my university. I visited a company that really good in waste recycling. So in Norway, they're more advanced on environmental technology, and most of the people there are aware of environment. Like they have an ATM for water bottle. So if you have water bottle, you can change it with coins, right? So you take your water bottle and then you put it in the ATM in Norway, and then they will give you cash or coins. So it was really amazing to see how they are aware of the environmental issues in their countries. And this is also can be our inspirations to actually apply this to our country as well, because we are the most polluted country, the second one, right? So actually we can learn from them. And at the end, 2019, before COVID-19, I went to China, but it was not in COVID-19 pandemic. So I was there in October, and I think the Chinese pandemic started in December, right? So I was so grateful that I could go back before the pandemic came. So I was an entrepreneur delegation from Indonesia, and I shared a lot of things about Indonesia and my startup actually. Seeing other countries represent their entrepreneurial things and also insightful matters, it's really engaging for me. And actually struggle also with China's traditions. Most of them don't speak English, and also so I had a not good story from China. I lost my laptop there in a hotel, so it was so insane. I was alone and I didn't have any friends that can help me at that time, so I felt like it was so terrible. But yeah, I came back to Indonesia without my laptop. The struggle also for the food. Yeah, most of the foods in China are not halal, so I didn't. It's really difficult to find any halal restaurants, but I found one, and we ate halal meat there, and it was amazing because I was accompanied by Malaysian lecturers, and they're just so kind. So, right. This is a quote from Ibn Battuta. Actually, I was inspired by him too for traveling around the world. He said, traveling, it leaves you speechless and turns you into a storyteller. This is right, because when you saw other countries and you saw any different tradition and you saw any different cultures, you will see like oh my God, this is amazing. Is this good or not? It will be depend on you. And the really important thing is you have to have a really good you know Islamic streak in your personal, because the traditions is not, it's quite different from Muslim traditions, right? And you have uh, to be really concise that we are Muslims and we do not join or follow other cultures unkindly. So I think it's really important to learn more about our traditions, probably in focusing in Islam, and do not ever neglect the ibadah, the prayer. This is important. And also the most important thing to share to everyone about the things that you got, the insight that you got from other countries. And if you can do it, you can implement the things that you learned before in other countries to our developed countries, Indonesia. So yeah, that's all from me. I will give other quotes, spread your ideas to others so that the universe can help you find a way and create it together with you. So I think we have a lot of globalizations, and we have also international supporters with us. And if we can, share to them, they will also support us in doing what we want to do. That's all from me. Thank you so much for everyone who are hearing to the presentations. I'm looking forward to answer your questions if you have. Thank you.
I would like to greet Director of Universitas Muhammadiyah Bangka Belitung, Bapak Fadila Sobri. Selamat pagi, Bapak Fadila. Are you there? Okay, yeah. He's already here. Kinanti, yeah, you can continue to the third speaker.
Hello, Kiranti, are you there?
Okay. Before we move on to the next presenters, I would like to welcome our Rector of University Muhammadiyah Bangka Belitung, Mr. Fadila Sobri. I'm sorry, Mr. Before we move on to the next presenter, I would like to welcome our Rector of University Muhammadiyah Bangka Belitung, Mr. Fadila Sobri, for giving welcome speech. To Mr. Fadila Sobri, the screen is yours.
Hai.
Untuk Bapak Rektor kita, Pak Fadila Sobri, untuk memberikan kata sambutan sebelum kita berpindah ke presenter selanjutnya.
Iya, tadi sudah kami sapa juga beliau Bapak Fadila Sabri. Mungkin beliau sedang ada bersambil dengan kegiatan yang lain, sehingga kita sambil berjalan saja, Kiranti. We can move
beliau
to the
sedang
third
ada
speaker,
tamu.
and after the third speaker, if our rector is available and also standby. And then after that, we can move to the speech from our rector. Okay, Kiranti, move to the next presenters. Thank you.
Okay, let me welcome our great presenter, Mr. Afzal Sharif Sheikh from India. And then let me read the education history of him. First, he is the passing year
I think Kiranti is unmuted.
Okay. Let me welcome our great presenter, Afzal Sharif Sheikh from India. And then for the work experience, let me read it briefly. Sis joins the organization's named Joya Lucas India PVT Ltd as a site supervisor and and make a project. The title is Joya Lucas AS Rao Hyderabad, and then he has joined the organization's eclectic builders and developers as a site engineer. And for the education history, the passing years on 2011 from St. Thomas College HS Treasures, and then also from the passing years 2013 from St. Thomas College HS Treasures, and then from Tejas Engineering College, his passing years on 2017, and from National Institute of Construction Management and Research Fund, the passing years is 2021. And then for our great presenters, Mr. Afzal Sharif Sheikh, the screen is yours. Thank you.
Good morning to all of you. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Afzal Sharif Sheikh. I'm from India. Firstly, I would like to thank the Institute for giving me this opportunity. I'm here to talk about the cultural similarities and differences between India and Indonesia. I hope you can see my screen. So let's see the historical background between our two countries. Now, Indian traders were one of the first people to arrive the Indonesian shores around the 1st century AD, and Hinduism and Buddhism followed from India to the islands. During the Chola dynasty is when India and Indonesia had the greatest diplomatic relationship in the historical times. If we see the history of the colonizers, India was colonized by the Britishers, and they got freedom after 300 years in 1947. And similarly, Indonesia was also colonized by Portuguese, Dutch, and then eventually they got their freedom from Japan after World War II in 1945. So basically, we both of our countries got freedom around the same period. And the first Indian Prime Minister and the first Indonesian President, Sukarno, were actually very good friends, and they were also the founding members of non-aligned movement, which contributed for the freedom from the colonizers in their respective countries. Now, even today, a ship starts from port of Pradeep in Orissa to Bali. The voyage is known as Bali Yatra. If you see the map here, during the ancient times, during the historical period of Chola dynasty in 8 AD or 9 AD, there used to be a ancient trade route through sea which linked India and Indonesia. The first diplomatic ties between India and Indonesia was established in 1951 by the first Prime Minister of India and the first President of Indonesia. Now, do we share any borders? Now, even though India and Indonesia doesn't share any land border between each other, but we do share maritime border with your country. If you see the map here, the Andaman Islands, which is part of India, is actually very much closer to Indonesia than it is to the mainland India. The closest point from Andaman to Indonesia is just 163 kilometers, while comparing it to India, the closest point is more than 1,000 kilometers. So we are not as far as you think. Before I talk further about the culture influence, what is culture? Now, there are many definitions for culture. What I believe is culture can be defined as all the ways of life, including arts, beliefs, institutions of population, codes of manner, language, rituals, cuisines, which are passed down from generations to generations. According to H.B. Sarkar, a culture is not born; it is influenced. It is a complex phenomenon fed by streams of different lands at various points of time in manifold ways through different agencies. The process is a continuous process which is transmitted from generations to generations. Now let's see evident similarities between our countries. Now both of our countries are very diverse, very ethnically diverse, and we believe in unity. Both of our countries are geographically spread out, and the topography is very much mixed. And we have different cultures. I think in Indonesia, each island has a different culture and different tradition. Similarly, in India, there are different traditions. The East has a different tradition. The West part of India has a different tradition. The South India has a different tradition, so on. Now, even though India is a Hindu majority and Indonesia is a Muslim majority, both of our countries believe in secularism. Both of our countries are developing nations still. Um, we both of our countries face similar sort of environmental problems, like the Indian city in Kolkata is facing rising sea levels due to global warming. I think Jakarta is also facing a similar issue due to global warming. Both our countries are having a very young population. India is having an average population age of 27, while Indonesia is also having a very young age population of 28. I believe this is one of the valuable resource which we have compared to other countries. Now, where did we get our names? Now, India is originally derived from the river Sindhu, which the Persians called it as Hindu. The word Hindu is, which we are most commonly using in India, got it from Indus River itself, and the Greeks called the Sindhu River as Indus. So India got its name from a river called Indus, and similarly, the Indonesia was given by the Dutch, and the Dutch used the Greek word Indos from the river Indus, and the Nessos, which means islands in Greek. So both our countries were named from a river, which is now presently flowing through Pakistan. Let's see the similarities in our language. Now, India has more than 100 languages, and the most popular language is Hindi. Now, similarly, Indonesia is also having thousands of ethnicities, more than 800 language, but I think Bahasa Indonesia is the national language. Both our languages are influenced by Sanskrit. So if our language is influenced by Sanskrit, then we should be having some similar words or similar words which have same meaning in both languages, such as guru, kacha, jaya, vanita, manusya, surga. These words have similar meaning in both our languages, in Hindi and in Bahasa Indonesia. Even though Hindi is spoken in most of the provinces or states in India, but Hindi is not our national language. Actually, India doesn't have any national language. We have official languages. India has two official languages. One is English and the other one is Hindi. Apart from Hindi, we have many regional languages such as Tamil, Malayalam, Kannada, Telugu, Marathi, Odia, Bhojpuri, and many more than 100 languages. And 22 languages are officially mentioned in our constitution, and around 15 languages are mentioned in Indian currency called rupees. Now, English is compulsory taught for all from the lower primary section itself. Basically all the students in India has to study at least two languages, one their common mother tongue and then the English language. If I talk about my schooling days, I had to learn 4 languages at the same time. After America, India is the second largest English speaking country in the world. The Bhasa Indonesia is also being taught in India in one of the best institutes in India, JNU University. If I talk about the education system, my country has a very pretty much similar education system, but the literacy rate of India and Indonesia is quite very much different, because Indonesia is way far ahead in literacy rate. Indonesia is having around 95% of literacy rate, while India is still in 77%. But both of our countries are still spending very less of their GDP for education, and both countries are very competitive education system. Now, as Indonesia is having a competitive entrance exam for the colleges, we also have a competitive entrance exam. But depending upon the stream that the student chooses, we have to appear for different competitive exam. If basically I am an engineer, so I had to appear for JEE entrance exam. If I want to study medicine, then I have to appear for NEET. If I want to do MBA, then I have to appear for CAT. So based on the streams, the exams also change. Now, if I talk about the architectural similarity between our countries, if we compare the temples in Indonesia and India, we can see a similarity in the style of architecture, and all these temples are built during the same period, or you can say same dynasty. You can see the pictures, and you can just compare the similarities in the architectural style and design. And also the traditional houses in Indonesia follow vernacular style of architecture, and that style can also be seen in India also. We also share a common mythology, like Indian epics such as Ramayana and Mahabharata is quite popular in Indonesia as well. The epics of Ramayana came to Indonesia around 8th or 9th century during the Chola dynasty. Actually, there are many different versions of Ramayana in Indonesia, especially in Java and Bali. The influence of mythology can be seen in various places even today. Ramayana, if I can give you an example, the Ramayana based shadow puppetry show, or the Ramayana based dance drama or ballet can be seen in Java and Bali. This is the shadow puppetry show on the theme of Ramayana, and the Ramayana ballet in Bali on the theme of Ramayana. The Jatayu Airlines of Indonesia. Jatayu is actually a character mentioned in Ramayana, and you can also see a lot of in Ramayana influences in other places as well, like the national emblem of Indonesia, the Garuda. The Garuda is also mentioned in Ramayana. So the Hindu goddess statue in Indonesian embassy of USA, or the stamps, the Indonesian government to honor the 70th anniversary of diplomatic relationship between India and Indonesia, they released commemorative stamps on the theme of Ramayana. So you can see the mythology influence of India in modern day Indonesia as well. If I share about the food culture, India is one of the largest vegetarian population, and also India is the second largest rice producing country followed by Indonesia being the third. Now, the most consumed food in India is rice. Similarly, just like Indonesia, India is also a very much rice eating country. Then after followed by rice, we also consume a lot of roti or chapati. Now, people of Sumatra, I think, accept Indian food a lot because the spices that we use are very much similar. So Indian food is accepted a lot, I think, in Sumatra Islands. And the left picture is how a typical South Indian would have his lunch or dinner, and the picture shown in the right is a typical North Indian would be having. And if there are a lot of similar dishes in Indonesia and India, where the names are just different, but the dish is actually very much same. Like the appam of Indonesia and the idli of India is actually a very much same dish, but just we just call it by different names. And the roti canai of Indonesia and the Indian bread is also very much similar. And then samosa, I think samosa is very much famous in Indonesia, as famous as in India. And the biryani of India is, I think Indonesia is having your own versions of biryani with another name, I think. And the curry yam of Indonesia, and in India also we also have a curry, but we call it with some other names. But the dish or the spices used for preparation is actually very much same. Now the movie industry or the Bollywood industry, I think in Indonesia, the Bollywood is very much famous. The Hindi film industry, or popularly known as Bollywood film industry, is very famous in Indonesia. The Bollywood movies and dramas are quite popular, I think. The actors such as Shah Rukh Khan, Kajol, Ranbir Kapoor, and many more actors, I think, are well known in Indonesian society. I think most people in Indonesia know about just one film industry, which is Bollywood, but there are actually more than 15 film industries in India, all based on their regional languages, such as Hindi film industry, Tamil film industry, Malayalam film industry, Kannada film industry, and there are many more film industries. If I can give you an example, I think most of you might have known about Bahubali, which came out, I think, 2 years ago. It's not actually a Bollywood movie. It's actually from Telugu film industry, and Indian people follow almost all film industry, not just Bollywood. And because we are having so many film industries in our country, more than 800 films are being produced in India, and most of the people in our country is mad about films, or you can say they worship their favorite actors, and they celebrate the release of their favorite actors movie as equivalent to celebrating a festival. That's all from my side, and if you have any questions, or if you would like to add anything, then you're most welcome to. Thank you.
Thank you for Mr. Afzal Serif for the great presentations about India culture. And then now we will move on to the next agenda, that is a questions and answer for the audience. If you have any questions, you can write in the room chat, write your name and the presenters you want to ask. Thank you. And we will open for the 3 audience for the questions and answer sessions.
Excuse me, Kiranti, before we go to the Q&A session, tadi sudah kami ada melihat tadi sepertinya Bapak Fadilah Sabri tadi sepertinya standby. So, Mr. Fadilah, are you there and still have a time to greet us? Okay, we are waiting for Mr. Fadilah to have a speech. Okay, Kiranti, you can move to the Q&A session. Okay, I think it has technical problems. Yeah, I'm trying to help Kiranti to read the questions.
Miss.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, you come back. Okay.
We have some questions from the
Yeah.
participant.
Oh,
From
okay.
Emilia Gaulay. He motivates.
Yeah, welcome and good morning, Mr. Fadil.
Morning, Assalamualaikum.
Iya, Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam.
Iya,
Pak Rektor.
iya, Bapak Rektor Universitas Muhammadiyah Bangka Belitung, Bapak Fadilah Sabri STMN, barangkali ingin menyapa all of the participants, semua peserta, and all of the speakers, dan juga semua narasumber. Mungkin boleh menyapa sedikit, sepatah dua patah kata begitu.
Oke, thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
Pada
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Bu Kaprodi, Bu Iful, Bu Wakil Rektor, Bu Pratiwi, dan seluruhnya, wabil khusus kepada narasumber. Alhamdulillah ini ada dari Palestina ya Ahmad Sabir. Kaifa haluka ya akhi?
Alhamdulillah bikhair. Terima kasih banyak ya Pak.
Alhamdulillah, Masya Allah, Masya Allah. Ini ada dari India ya, apa Afsal Sah. Ya. Halo,
Halo.
how are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
I'm fine. You can speak Indonesia?
No, I'm
No.
trying to learn.
Yeah, yes, yeah. I can speak in English. Oke, kalau begitu nanti tolong diterjemahkan. Ini ada Mbak Nuha. Ya. Tip.
Assalamualaikum.
Salam. Buat semua
Siap,
juga
siap.
mahasiswa yang hebat-hebat. Baik, tadi ada tamu ya. Jadi saya menyambut gembira kegiatan kita pada pagi hari ini. Ini merupakan suatu terobosan yang baik, yang bagus bagi teman-teman dari prodi bahasa Inggris. Teruslah untuk melatih diri kita, perbanyak silaturahim dengan sahabat-sahabat dari seluruh dunia jika perlu, karena sekarang ini persahabatan itu sudah tidak lagi dibatasi oleh jarak ya dan waktu. Kadang-kadang kita semuanya sudah bisa berkomunikasi. Nah, acara ini sangat-sangat positif dan saya sangat mendukung. Mudah-mudahan kegiatan bersama semuanya ini ya akan memberikan kontribusi positif bagi kemajuan program studi bahasa Inggris khususnya dan Universitas Muhammadiyah Bangka Belitung pada umumnya. Dan saya berharap narasumber yang dari luar negeri bisa diundang di kampus nantinya Bu Iful. Ya kalau ada waktu, kalau mereka memang ada di Indonesia ya kita ajak aja jalan-jalan di Bangka Belitung melihat keindahan Pulau Bangka. Baik, terus berkarya anak-anakku semuanya dan seluruh mahasiswa dan mahasiswi umum Babel yang dari bahasa Inggris. Mumpung ini ada speakernya ya untuk melatih diri, ya terutama ini ada yang dari Palestina. Jika perlu nanti bisa mengetahui bagaimana kondisi terkini Palestina, ya apakah di Palestina sekarang sudah semakin damai, sudah semakin penuh dengan kemajuan. Itu harapan saya ada informasi yang bisa ditukar dengan kita, karena dengan demikian ini bisa akan menambah wawasan kita semuanya. Baik, saya pikir demikian. Good job ya buat semua. Jangan pernah berhenti berkarya, berinovasi. Teruslah perbanyak silaturahim, karena silaturahim itu akan membawa rezeki dan juga menambah panjang usia kita, insya Allah. Demikian dari saya. Semoga Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala meridhoi dan memberkati menyukai kegiatan ini. Terus berinovasi Bu Ipul, jangan takut ya, nggak ada dukungan segala macam, pasti saya dukung untuk kegiatan yang positif seperti ini, pasti dan wajib. Nanti Bu Pratiwi yang akan mensupport ya. Saya pikir Bu Pratiwi punya anggaran khusus untuk hal-hal seperti ini ya. Sekian, terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Nuha sehat ya.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good.
Thank you very much. Kiranti, next you can move to the next session, Q&A session.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the welcome speech from our Rector of University Muhammadiyah Bangka Belitung, Mr. Fadila Sobri. And now we will move on to the next agenda, that is a questions and answer sessions. For the audience, if you have any questions, you can write in the room chat, write your name and the presenters you want to ask. Actually, we have some questions from the audience. First, from Amelia Daulay from University Muhammadiyah of Bangka Belitung. She want to ask to Miss Nuha about what motivates you to stay strong when you are having a hard time. And from Miss Nur Taufik from Palestine, he asked to Mr. Nuha also. He asked, because you have visited many countries and know many cultures, how you face the culture shock. And to Miss Nuha, I think you can answer some questions from our participants. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much for the questions. Actually, I should answer the first question from Melia, right? Okay. Okay, which one? How can I be stronger if I encounter culture shock? Is that what the question was? Okay, the question was from Melia, right? Melia Mardiana, or which one?
I think the first question is from Tiara, Miss.
Okay, from Tiara. Okay, I will answer from Tiara first. Did you had hard time to understood some accent of English when you talk to many people? Yes. Well, English in many countries was different. First, when I went to the US, in the states, within the states, actually they have different accent too. Like if you visit California, they're more enjoyable. They have an Californian accent that's really easy to imitate. I'm currently using a Californian accent. And then the second one was for the Salt Lake City or in the Utah, they're more classic, and one is in Chicago. They're two more more simple to say in English. But other than that, I also visited some countries in Europe, because in Europe they English is not their first language. They have their own language, such as Germans, and then French, right, and Swiss German. So they have different accent too, like they're more direct. Well, most of my mentors was from German, and I can do a German accent actually, but I couldn't do it here. I don't know. Probably next. And then I also had a difficulties in understanding my African friends. Because they more say English in rap method, I think. So it will kind of like fast, but then some of the words they say wasn't quite clear to me. So I had to ask them like 3 or 4 times in order to understand what they're saying. But it was so amazing. Then we will have a laugh together at the end after we know each other's you know, English. So that's really challenging, but I really like it. I like to learn other accents. Actually, I like any other country's accent too. From Norway, they're different. From Philippines, India also, they have different accents, and that's really amazing. And yeah, in case you already visited almost around the world that have so many accents, yeah. So they have different English as well. If I speak with my mentor from German, then I will use German accent in English. If I talk with Californian, then I will use also Californian. So I don't know why, but it's automatically like that if I talk to someone. So yeah, that's from my perspective on accents. Other else from Melia, right? I'm very motivated from your wonderful experience around the word. Thank you. Can you give us tips in how to receive it and how we can make ourselves useful both for ourselves and others? Tips from me to achieve. I think a lot of you, every one of you wanted to, you know, reach your goals and dreams. Traveling abroad is one of my dreams too. And the tips and tricks that I can give you is to know your niche, your passion. That's really important, because one of the things that I really noticed from what I did is because I am passionate on engineering and science, and to make it more sustainable, I had to cooperate with other people, and they are not many of them in Indonesia, but there are more more people who support me in other countries. So it's really important to have your goal and then know your passion and work with it, right? And if you find some things work, and then you can find others too that want to support your ideas and things like that. So I think that's my tips and tricks. Try everything. I also try a lot of things and fail in a lot of things too. So the earlier you fail, the better. As long as we are students, we still are students, please just try anything that you feel that's good. And if you find any result on that, then do it continuously, and you can actually you know, have a very similar experience like me. And other else, you can try to find any sources in internet, right? There are a lot of scholarship there, focusly on SDGs, and they will pay you actually for the accommodations, the transport, so you will go abroad for free. And they also will give you stipends, so you don't have to, you know, bring any money actually, and they will give you a money to support you for your studies in other countries. And how to make useful, how can we make ourselves useful people? I think this is really important. If you can compare yourself with others who don't have the same access facilities like us. For me, I see a lot of people don't have access on water, sanitations, and hygiene facilities. And one of the reasons I learned a lot of these things is because I want to help other people that don't have that access. So when you want to you know, make you useful for others, you have to look others too. What is their issues? How can you solve their issues? And what is the effective way to actually tackle those problems? And this will actually make you useful for people. So look at other people and take care to others. That's the important things for being useful for people and others. look at their issues and try to solve and help tackle with your solutions. Okay, there's the questions. Do I have to answer all? I will give the time to.
Yes, yes.
Okay, all the
Can
questions.
answer the second question though.
Okay, I have answered two questions.
Oh, okay.
Do I have?
Thank you to
Okay.
Thank you to Ms. Nuha for the answer to the questions from our participant. And then for the last question is to Mr. Ahmed from Sofwan Arif Agil. He's from University Muhammadiyah of Bangka Belitung. And the question is, he asked if he have to learn Arabic language to speak with the locals, and do people in the Palestine speak English? And just from his curiosity, what is the English accent that the majority of Palestine people speak? Thank you. To Mr. Ahmed, the screen is yours to answer the questions.
Thank you so much. So can I read the question again?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Can you read the question again?
Okay. The question is, did we need to learn Arabic language to speak with the locals in the Palestine, and do people in the Palestine speak English? And just from his curiosity, what is the English accent that the majority of Palestine people speak?
Okay, so thank you so much. So I will answer about my experience in two languages. I mean, when I learned English and Indonesian language in Indonesia, I just learned Indonesian for the first. The official language in Palestine is Arabic language. Okay, and when I come to Indonesia, I learned to speak English first. After that, I joined to study master degree. But how I learned first Indonesian language, I didn't study, or I didn't know anything about Indonesian language before I come here. I just come to Indonesia, to Yogyakarta first, and learn Indonesian language. After that, I practice with the people in Indonesia. But when I learn so fast, I was speaking with the Indonesian. Yeah, when I learned so fast, I was speak with the Indonesian here, and when I want to be good writing for Indonesian, I was read so much in Indonesia every day, and I can understand. I can see every day a new words. I cannot understand the words, and I can see the translation, and after that I can make a sentence by these words. But when I want to speak, I just practice with the Indonesian. This is the good experience for me. If the Arabic language or any language is the same, but in Palestine, usually the people only speak Arabic language. We only use Arabic language in Palestine. But the experience, how we can learn the new language, and not only any language, because this is my experience with Indonesian and English language. So we need to write a lot of, and we need to practice. If we cannot find Arabic people, for example, because the Arabic language is in Palestine, we talk by Ammiya language, not Fusha, not formal language. So if we want to understand, or we want to learn so fast about the new language, Arabic language, English, Indonesia, any language, we need to practice. How we can practice? If in Indonesia we cannot find a lot of Arabic people, so how the Indonesian can practice to speak? We need to watch Arabic news, Arabic, for example, films, or we need to looking any talk show, for example, anything by Arabic speaking, to only watch them. If we watch them, if we don't understand the first, it's okay. So later we will understand, because it is from my experience with two language, Indonesian and English. And for your information too, I learned English and Indonesia in Indonesia. I learned two languages in here in the same time on 2019. Hello? Yeah, it's here then. Hello?
Thank you for Mr. Ahmed for the answer. And then for other participants, we are really sorry we cannot give the questions and answer sessions anymore. And then now, well, ladies and gentlemen, now we have come to the end of this event. I'm sorry for my mistakes. Thank you for the attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi.
I think for all the participants, you can leave the Zoom room.
Terima kasih Mbak Nuha.
Iya, Bu. Terima
Sepertinya
kasih.
kita perlu foto session dulu ya.
Iya, belum. Kita belum session.
And now, please, for all the participants, turn on your video. We will have a photo session.
Yeah, all the participants, please on cam. So, yeah, okay. Okay, all the audience, all the participants, please turn on the camera. Okay, there are three slides here.
Tutup ya.
Have you done, Bu Ivo?
Tutup
Not yet. Because the connection is unstable, so jadi fotonya agak loading ini semuanya kameranya. Okay, we are trying. One.
Pakai screenshot aja, pakai print screen.
Ya.
Print screen aja tuh bagus.
Okay, and then the last three. Okay. Smile.
Thank you, Absal.
Okay, done. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Nuha.
Thank you, Kak Nuha. And then thank you, Mr. Ahmed. And thank you, Miss.
Do come to Bangka, Mr. Ahmed.
Yeah, soon.
You are warmly
I will-
welcome here. And
I
Mr.
will come
Afsal,
soon.
visit us
And
to
Mr. Afsal
Indonesia.
also greeting from
Bahut
Indonesia.
Achahe, the presentation Bahut Achahe, I love it very much. Bahut
Yeah, thank you
Achahe.
so much.
Nehi.
Actually, I just want to make a new picture about Palestine, because the people only think about Palestine, only conflict from the news, but we have
Exactly.
normal life there. So I just want to make sure about it.
Exactly.
Therefore, you should come here.
Yeah.
Sure.
Looking forward to seeing you. You are welcome to the family. To the family, okay? Thank you very much, Mr. Ahmed.
Yeah, you are
Miss
welcome.
Nuhan, thank you.
Makan
Thank you,
bakwan tuh, Ahmed.
Afsal.
Thank you.
Kita makan
Thank you,
bakwan
Mr.
tuh.
Afsal. Thank you, Mr. Ahmed.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Assalamualaikum.
Izin live.
Waalaikumsalam.
Assalamualaikum.
Nuha mau bakwan nggak?
Nak.
Minta kirim ibu-ibu bakwan tuh.
Siap kami
Kan nggak
lempar
ada
bakwannya ke
bakwan.
sini.
Oh, lempar lah, Bu.
Ya, saya lihat dulu ya. Thank you.
Ya, terima kasih.
Terima kasih, Pak Fadil. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih, Ahmed and Afsal. Thank you.
Thank you. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. Stop apa?